Mr. Freeman, I have terrible news. They've let him go.
Who? Milton?
Yes,
But I thought he was in the system.
the fools let him go.
He out of the system? Oh, no! Huey, he's out of the system! Grab my shotgun!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Public Offender 100 channel. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely get the word out to your family and friends, man. But yeah, let's get into it. I came across this trend a couple of days ago. I saw the first video. I thought it was funny, like for 1 second, right? And then I like reread it a couple times, and I was like, well, how is this funny? And then, so I clicked on the sound and I started to kind of sift through the sounds, and I noticed a few things, right? One of them is basically the trend, just, to kind of, let's get to that first. Basically the trend are women telling stories about how they were assaulted by men. Like, that's just the long and short of it. This woman says, when you up the relationship on your prison bae and his release date is coming up, so she's afraid of the impending violence, right? It's with the women, it's always linked back to, like this real world impending violence, right? I don't know if this one right here was just her making a joke. But the other ones I'm going to show you guys, definitely no joke. They were real stories. That the trend for me just signals how real the threat of violence is against women. No doubt about it. But when it came to the men also used this sound, and I didn't share any of their videos. I just didn't feel like doing it because who cares? But just to talk about it real quick, the thing that I noticed was the men's videos, they were not rooted in like a serious, it wasn't like something that most men experience or a lot of men experience or, anything like that. It was just like this like fantastical, fictional, funny situation. Like the men stuff, you could laugh at. It was like hardy hard, it was, basically they just did their thing was like, you snitched on the whatever and they're getting out next week, or whatever. It's an early release or whatever, right? It's always about you snitching on somebody that's getting out of jail, but like they're not, those dudes ain't out here. If you're a snitch, you're not making videos about that. You know what I'm saying? Like your life is in danger if you're doing that. So no. But these women, on the other hand, yeah, not so. So this one says, when I sent my baby daddy to jail and he got bonded out the next day and came back and beat my ass.
I have terrible news. They've let him go.
Who? Milton?
Yes,
But I thought he was in the system.
the fools let him go.
He out of the system? Oh, no! Huey, he's out of the system! Grab my shotgun!
Like, she's funny. You know what I mean? Like, you want to like key at it because, she's making light of it, but it's not. It's really sad. That's really disturbing. And I feel like it's just one of those things where the women are just like, what can we do about it now? It's better to laugh than to cry about it, so it's no shade to them, but it's just, I'm definitely we gotta talk about how violence against women is so normalized in our society, and this is just like another indication of that, because look at it. Look at how many, they got similar stories. This young lady,
Huey,
similar
he's
story.
out of the system! Grab my shotgun!
Mr. Freeman, I have terrible news. They've let him go.
Who? Milton?
Yes,
But I thought he was in the system.
the fools let him go.
He out of the system? Oh, no! Huey, he's out of the system! Grab...
One of the funniest clips, by the way. I love Boondocks, but this one says, when I sent my ex to jail and he got bonded out. He got bonded out I can't read that. I think it says the next day and came back to beat my eye. So could these women be like, because her thing is exactly the same as the other woman's thing, but is it true? Is it not true? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like these are true. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're joking about this. But this one for sure, without a doubt, not a joke. Like, not a joke at all.
Mr. Freeman, I have.
This one right here.
Mr. Freeman, I have terrible news. They've let him go.
Who? LaMilton?
Yes.
Well, I thought he was in the system.
Now, this woman says, when I called the cops on my ex for beating me up, and I thought they arrested him, but they really just drove him down the street. And when they dropped him off, he walked back to my house and beat my ass again. Then, when I called them again, he hid in the shed and they couldn't find him. So they left again. And as soon as they left, he beat my ass again. Jesus.
Terrible news.
Christ.
They've let him go.
Who? LaMilton?
Yes.
Well, I thought he was in the system.
The fools let him
Like,
go.
He's out of the system? Oh, no! Huey, he's out of the system!
it's just, it's the same. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I know for sure that one was real. The other two, I think, were real. And then the other one is just a common story, right? Of women trying to break it off with dudes in prison and having to worry about, you know, once that man gets out, what he's going to do to her. You know, the threat of violence is ever present for women. And I don't know what it's going to take for us to start taking it seriously, but like, we definitely got to start taking this seriously. It's like I said, I got a dark sense of humor. When I heard it, I laughed. When I read the stuff, I laughed because the Boondocks always gonna get a chuckle out of me. But like I said, when I just really started thinking about it, I was just like, man, this is really insidious, it's sick, and it has nothing to do with the women. You know, I'm not like blaming them for laughing because like it's their trauma. If they want to laugh at it, who am I to tell them don't laugh at it? I'm just saying I felt uncomfortable laughing at it. You know, for obvious reasons. So I think that the message that we need to, take away from this is the threat of violence is real for women, and it's not something for us to take lightly, but also a lot of men will try to downplay it, right? And on that same sound, it was a bunch of men, the men that were on that sound, they weren't doing these videos intentionally to like deflect from the woman's story. I'm just saying like, but just the stark contrast between the two, the lived experiences of the women versus like the fantastic, like created bullshit stories that the men were, you know what I mean? Like making fun of. It's like, we're just not living the same lives, and I know that a lot of men saw those videos and they probably thought because you saw them next to all the videos that the men made, the goofy ass videos that the men made, is like, oh yeah, they're both just clowning. Like, neither one of these scenarios are really that real, but in reality, yes, these scenarios for these women, I believe, are real. I believe these stories have happened to them directly or to somebody. One of them for sure, I believe, is 100% for sure, 100%, without a doubt. The other three, like I said, they could be real, they could not be, but I know that those stories are really, really for real. And I just want, and the reason why I'm saying it's important for me to point that out, like, I don't know if they're real, is like, I don't want to be like acting, like spreading like, oh, this is something that's uncommon and they just made up these like fake videos to push this like, terrible idea of men or whatever. But like, that's not the case, right? Like, this stuff really happens a lot, like for real, off the chain.